That inaugural running of the Breeders' Cup was held under clear skies at Hollywood Park. The afternoon got started with the $1 Million Juvenile at a distance of 1 mile, and the big favorite was Chief's Crown. Here's Tom Durkin's call.
And they're off. Bionic Light shows first on the outside. Spectacular Love is moving right with them. There goes Proudest Hour now, charging up on the inside. Secretary General is also out fast, and in between horses it's Spend a Buck. A battle for the early lead as they enter the main track, and Spend a Buck now emerges with a short lead, and Proudest Hour driving up on the inside is now second by ahead. Secretary General right there in between horses. Bionic Light right with the early leaders. He's fourth on the outside, about 2 lengths back. And then 3 more lengths to Spectacular Love now. He's settled into 5th position, and the favorite Chief's Crown is 6th. 7 lengths off the leaders as they head for the half-mile pole. Toward the inside, Tank's Prospect is now racing in 7th position. Script Ohio is now 8th. And farther back are the trailers, Concert Hall and Dauphine Fableau as the field races round the far turn. The quarter in 22 and 2 1/2 and 45 seconds flat. And Spend a Buck now. He's got a 2-length lead. Bionic Light is giving chase in second. And here comes the favorite, Chief's Crown, and he's flying on the outside now as the field turns for home. Proudest Hour is giving it up now, and he's fourth toward the inside. And Tank's Prospect is gaining ground toward the rail, but they still have Spend a Buck to catch. Chief's Crown attacks on the outside. Tank's Prospect is now third toward the inside. Bionic Light is fourth. They're inside the final furlong, and here comes Chief's Crown on the outside. He's taken the lead. Tank's Prospect, the late move toward the inside. They're coming to the finish. Chief's Crown, here's the wire, and a champion is crowned. It's Chief's Crown.
So the first ever Breeders' Cup race was in the books. The 2-year-old fillies were up next, and the stretch run produced the first of many unusual incidents in the history of the Breeders' Cup. In the green silks, Frans Valentine, who finished first, had made contact with Pirate's Glow.
Tilting Cordero goes to work on this front runner, but it's Fine Spirit who takes command as they come to the final furlong. Weekend Delight is moving up. Here's Frans Valentine on the outside, and Dusty Hart is there toward the rail, and Bess Arabian, she's a beaten filly today. Savannah Dancer, they're coming to the wire. Oustandingly, she's charging on the inside. They're coming to the finish. Frans Valentine, Oustandingly, Frans Valentine. A huge upset here.
For the first time ever, television cameras showed the deliberations of the stewards on the incident at the top of the stretch. Fernando Toro, the jockey on Pirate's Glow, explained how his horse was knocked off stride and out of the race by Frans Valentine. The tape showed Frans Valentine had indeed impeded Pirate's Glow, costing her any chance of winning the race. The stewards, after viewing the incident from several angles, disqualified Frans Valentine, placing her 10th. A dejected Pat Valenzuela had been denied victory, as jockey Walter Guerra and Harborview Farms Oustandingly were made the winner. The world's fastest horses were up next in the 6-furlong sprint, and the favorite was a horse with blazing speed, Elo.
And they're off. Elo is right out for the lead, and he sprints clear quickly by 2.5 lengths as the field moves up the backstretch. Princess Tracy now moves into second on the inside. Commemorate is now racing in third. Tangent is racing in fourth. Pleasure K is fifth in between horses. Explosive Wagon on the outside is now sixth. On the inside, Charging Falls is seventh. Pac-Mania is eighth in between horses. Riche is ninth on the outside, but he's only about 5 lengths back. Orders on Uctaran is second to last, and Fighting Fit is the trailer as they race round the far turn. Elo is bounding along with a 2-length lead. Pleasure K is second in between horses. Princess Tracy toward the inside. Here comes Commemorate now, and he's making his run for the lead as they approach the quarter pole. Then farther back, it's Tangent racing in 5th position. Charging Falls toward the inside. On the far outside, Fighting Fit is 7th as they come to the final furlong. Craig Perrette now, he's all out on Elo, and Elo responds. He's in front by 2.5 lengths with a furlong to go. Commemorate is second on the outside, trying to close in. Pleasure K is third. Fighting Fit is making a late run, 50 yards to the finish. Elo in front and driving. Commemorate, here's the wire. Elo and Commemorate, and those two finish together. It was very, very tight. Elo was right there. Commemorate was right at his neck as they hit the wire.
The Breeders' Cup Mile brought together the best milers on turf from Europe and North America, and the favorite was a filly who excelled on both continents, Royal Heroine.
The filly Royal Heroine is making her run now on the outside, and Lear Fan has dropped back. They're coming to the final 16th of a mile. Royal Heroine sweeping to the lead from the outside. Cozine is now second. Tights is making a late run, and they're coming to the finish. Royal Heroine, a host of others closing in, but here's the wire, and Royal Heroine has won it.
The time, 1:32.3, would stand as the fastest mile in the first 10 years of the event. Holding the event at Hollywood Park ensured that some of the most famous faces in the world would be in attendance. Notables of politics, television, and the movies convened for an afternoon at the races. Few events in sports history turned out such a glittering array of stars as the first Breeders' Cup. From the majesty of stars to the majesty of a princess, all eyes were on the magnificent gray Princess Rooney in the mile-and-a-quarter distaff.
But it is Princess Rooney who comes to the final furlong with a 2.5-length lead. Princess Rooney, Eddie De La Houssaye now goes to the whip. She's in front by 3 lengths. And then it's Life's Magic now second down the inside. Farther back, Adored is third. And they're coming to the final 16th. Princess Rooney in a romp. Here's the champion. Here's the wire. Princess Rooney, an absolute runaway winner.
Next up, the mile-and-a-half turf with a purse of $2 million. 1983 Horse of the Year all along from France. Second choice in the race to the American Majesty's Prince.
They're coming to the final furlong. All along is put to the test. Strawberry Road toward the inside. Lashkari is right at her neck. Rami on the outside. Here comes Lashkari all along digging in. They're coming to the wire. Lashkari getting up in the final strides.
Lashkari lit up the tote board, paying $108 to win. Imagine putting up over $300,000 to run a horse in a race where no one thought he had a chance. That's what Bill Allen and partners did for the first Breeders' Cup Classic.
If there's a Cinderella horse in the Classic, it's this horse, Wild Again. He's never run against the likes of Slew of Gold, but his owners have put up a record sum, $360,000 in supplemental money to make him eligible. Bill Allen is one of those owners, and I guess the obvious question is why for a horse that's 30-1 on the morning line?
Well, obviously, we don't think the horse should be 30-1 on the morning line, and probably will not go off at 30-1. He's been long odds in all of the 3 races that he's running this year, but the 3 races that he's won of importance have been 1/5 off the track record in 2 of those races and broke the track records, and one of them by 5 lengths of Oaklawn handicap. And he's beat some of the best horses in the United States, and we've been waiting to run against Slew of Gold on a California track rather than going to New York to meet him.
Horse of the Year was on the line for the leading older horse in the country, Slew of Gold, who was sent off at 3-5, even though it was known he was suffering from a quarter crack in a hoof and might not have been 100%. A pace setter for him, Mugga T, was also in the field. Second choice was the Preakness winner, Gate Dancer, easy to spot with his trademark earmuffs. And don't forget the long shot Wild Again in the $3 million Classic.
They're in the gate, and they're off. In the Breeders' Cup Classic in Mugga T, he's put right to the whip from the gate. Up to take the lead. He's bearing out now as they pass the stands the first time. Here's Precisionist to join him, and in between horses, it's Wild Again. 2 lengths back to Desert Blind. He's settled into 4th. And the big horse, Slew of Gold, is off the rail, and he's racing 5th by 4 lengths. Track Baron is now racing in 6th. Canadian Factor toward the inside. Gate Dancer is the trailer. He's about 12 lengths off the lead. We've got a 3-ply battle for the lead around the turn. And Wild Again emerges with the lead. Precisionist on the outside. Mugga T toward the rail. The first quarter, a snappy 22 3/5 seconds. They enter the backstretch. Wild Again battles it out and takes the lead now by 3/4 of a length to half, and 45 3. Precisionist pressures the pacemaker from the outside. Toward the inside, it's Mugga T now. He's dropped back 3rd, a gap of 4 lengths to Desert Wine racing in 4th. Slew of Gold is still 5th. He's settled into 5th place now, and he's beginning to move up on the outside, a gap of 4 to Track Baron. Gate Dancer is second to last with a half a mile to run, and Canadian Factor is far behind as the field heads for the far turn. 3/4 in 1:10 3, and Slew of Gold goes now. He's charging on the outside up to engage the leader. Wild again. It's Wild again with the lead. Slew of Gold. Cordero aboard it. Tex now with 3 furlongs to go. Those two are matching stride for stride. Here comes Track Baron. He's putting in his run. And Gate Dancer, he's in full stride now. And he swings wide for the final quarter mile. On the inside, Wild again is game, and he's holding on to the lead by a head. Slew of Gold is right at his neck. Here comes Gate Dancer on the outside there in the final furlong. Wild again, desperately holding on to the lead. Slew of Gold is right there in between horses. Gate Dancer on the outside. What a finish. Wild again. Gate Dancer, Slew of Gold in between them. Those three in a dramatic finish. And here's the wire. Wild again does it. I believe it was Wild again, an upset winner. Gate Dancer was right there. Really was a bit too close to call. But the big horse, Slew of Gold, was defeated today. He was third.
There was clearly some contact between the 3 horses in the stretch. Wild again on the rail, Slew of Gold between horses, Gate Dancer on the outside, and Slew of Gold took the worst of it. Jockey Angel Cordero Jr. explained the incident to the stewards.
But the last second of the mile, he just got bounced around both sides. The inside horse kept going out, and then the second horse started coming in at the end. And we made a lot of contact, and I could do nothing about it. He was just bouncing around back and forth. Thank you, sir.
The stewards deliberated for more than 10 minutes before reaching their decision. The question was whether the first place finisher, Wild again, on the rail, or the horse who finished second, Gate Dancer on the outside, would be held to blame for bumping Slew of Gold. Finally, it was decided that Gate Dancer was primarily to blame for the bumping. He was disqualified from second to third, and the gamble of Wild again's owners had paid off. The masterful ride of Pat Day on the lead would live on in racing history, and the Breeders' Cup had been established as racing's championship day. That inaugural running of the Breeders' Cup was held under clear skies at Hollywood Park. The afternoon got started with the $1 Million Juvenile at a distance of 1 mile, and the big favorite was Chief's Crown. Here's Tom Durkin's call.
Go out fast, and then between horses, it's Spend a Buck. A battle for the early lead as they enter the main track, and Spend a Buck now emerges with a short lead, and Proudest Hour driving up on the inside is now second by a head. Secretary. And they're off. Bionic Light shows first on the outside. Spectacular Love is moving right with them. There goes Proudest Hour now, charging up on the inside. Secretary General is also General right there in between horses. Bionic Light right with the early leaders. He's fourth on the outside, about 2 lengths back. And then 3 more lengths to Spectacular Love now. He's settled into 5th position, and the favorite Chief's Crown is 6th. 7 lengths off the leaders as they head for the half-mile pole. Toward the inside, Tank's Prospect is now racing in 7th position. Script Ohio is now 8th. And farther back are the trailers.